So today what we're going to go through is some equation problems. Now we've gone through 1-step, 2-step, 3-step equations with variables on both sides, expanding brackets, and even quadratic equations. The next kind of step from that is to use those theoretical processes into actual scenarios. Now, some of these can be quite simple, others can be quite difficult. So we're going to have a look at a range of different problems, and then you're going to try and apply them to the textbook exercises. So let's have a look at the first one. When a number is doubled and 11 is subtracted, the result is 23. Now we've got a bunch of words. Now what we need to do is be able to turn this into something a little bit more familiar, okay, with the numbers. So the first thing that we need to do is circle. Now I would probably either get two different colored pens or you can use different colored highlighters to circle the relevant sections, okay? So when a number is doubled. So a number is doubled, okay, is my first key piece of information, and 11 is subtracted. The result is 23. So result is 23. Now, I've got my three circles, so I'm going to need three different parts of this equation. So looking at this first part, what we're going to do, a number is doubled. Now, let a number be x. Okay, we don't know what that number is, okay, but we know that we're doubling this number. Now, remember, when we are doubling, we are simply timesing by 2. Okay, so when a number is doubled, 2x, and 11 is subtracted. Okay, so 11 is subtracted, so minus 11. The result, so the moment you see the result, that's an equal sign, okay, equals 23. Now, because this is something familiar, we can actually answer this and we can find out what the number is, which is what the question is asking. So, start off here, plus 11, plus 11. So, 23 plus 11 is false apparently, so let's reset my calculator. 23 plus 11, 34. Now I've got 2 times x. I know that I need to divide it by 2, okay, because that's the opposite operation. Therefore, x is going to equal 17. Now again, to double check this, 2 bracket bracket minus 11. Let's substitute in our answer of 17. It's 23. 23. We know that that is correct. Let's go on to something a little bit more trickier. Okay, so again, getting out our different colored pens, 5 times a number is the same as 6 more than 3 times the number. Now this sounds really complicated. It's really not. You just need to circle the relevant terms to be able to break down this sentence into its manageable parts. So 5 times a number is obviously going to be our first key point. So 5 times a number now is the same as, is actually our next part. 6 more. Okay, 6 more than 3 times the number. So 3 times the number. Now, so you may not have picked up that is the same as is a really important part. What this means is equals. Okay, so that's why it's really important. Now that we've got our 4 different circles, let's start putting them into numbers. 5 times a number. We don't know what this number is, so let's put that as x. Okay, so 5 times the number, so 5 times x is the same as, so equals 6 more than, okay, so 6, now more than, you should remember, is a plus, okay, more than. If I have 1 lolly and I add on or have 6 more than that, I'm going to have 7 lollies because I've added on 6. So 6 more than, so 6 plus 3 times the number. Remember, the number was x, okay, because we don't know what that is. So we've got 5x, so 5 times x, 5 times a number, is the same as or equals 6 more than, so 6 plus 3 times the number. Now that we've got this, it is nice and simple to work out. So let's get rid of the 3x from this side because I like all my pronumerals on to my left. Okay, it makes it a little bit more logical sense. So 2x equals 6 divided by 2 divided by 2, x equals 3. Now all I need to do is substitute it back in. So 5 times 3 is 15, and 6 plus 3, 15. 15, 15. I know that that is correct because 15 on one side equals 15 on the other side. So 3 is correct. Now something a little bit different, okay, very similar to substitution. Now sometimes you have to derive the equation formula. Sometimes, however, and more likely, particularly in business and science, you get given the formula. Now a repairman charges for fixing washing machines using the formula C equals 32H plus 45. We've got 2 different variables in here. Now C is the charge and H is the number of hours the job takes. So for rocking up, okay, just by turning up to the house, he's going to charge you $45. Then he's going to charge 32 hours for every hour of work that he does at your place. Adding these 2 things together, he's going to get you your charge. Okay, how much you owe for the entire amount of work. Now this does make sense. Okay, you usually have some type of call out fee, and then you have to pay for the work for every hour of work that he or she does. So find the charge for a 3-hour job. Now we've been given one of the variables, which means we're only left with one variable. So let's substitute that in. So the charge is 32 times 3 plus 45. Now what was the charge? Okay, so call out fee was $45 and he worked for 3 hours at $32 an hour. Okay, so $141 is our charge. All I'm doing is substituting the information back into our formula. So it's quite easy that way. Now, we may be given the hourly rate, but we also may be given the charge and have to work out how many hours he has worked. So the number of hours worked if the charge is $205. So let's write that out. So we've got the charge of $205 equals 32. Now we don't know what H is, plus 45. Now, this looks like a normal equation that we could solve. Let's minus 45 from each side. Now, I am running out of room, so I'm going to go to the right. So 205 minus 45. Okay, 160. So 160 equals 32H. Now to get H on its own, all I need to do is divide by 32, divide by 32. Now H is now going to be left on its own. Okay, so because all I'm doing is what I have been previously teaching. Okay, step by step equations. 160 divided by 32, he has worked for 5 hours. Now we can double check this by substituting straight back into the formula. 32 bracket 5. Okay, 205. 205. 5 hours is correct.